Okay, so there are 3 PDF files. So yung system navigation na ginawa natin kanina, it's here, System Operation Guideline, ET. ET means trial class. So from the website, itongzuo.com, tapos the other website is OEPBK. Pag hindi nag-work yung itongzuo, ayaw mag-load, use this one. So either of the two, it will give you the same result. And then the logins, it's what I gave to you. Account name, password, enter. Okay. So what teacher Jozero clicked earlier, it's all here. So click the date, January 29, 2024, last year. Click future booking, and then it diverts to here. Yeah, it looks like this. Click teaching plan IELTS. You see it's very clear naman, di ba? So in case you forget, it's here. Click BSR. Click BSR. Yes. And then copy paste. Yeah, it's all here. Then you're looking for this one. The next would be, I think I shared with you, kasi sa warm-up page, ang gagamitin is a script, which is this one. So the script is just in a notepad. It's just to remind you that this will be the questions that you will ask during the warm-up. Dito, yung naka-orange warm-up. So because you will enter students' information. So as you do the warm-up, you're going to use this page. Sana ba yung warm-up? Yeah. Because I'm not in the test page, so I'm gonna log out. I need to enter my test page. Yeah, testy ulit, login. This is it again. Every time you see this one, because you're going to be required, as I've mentioned, to open 4 weeks in advance. So pagka kulang yung inopen mo, magpa-pop up to sa system ni teacher. So just to remove the pop-up, adjust later. And then again, January 29, right? So you go, wait. I'm going to go back, January 29, 2024, future booking. Here it is. This is the test page. You can choose any of that. So once you are about to start your class or your demo, so pasok ka lang sa teaching plan IELTS. And then click BSR, copy paste. I insist to open. Ito, warm-up page. So when I am about to start the warm-up, this is just 5 minutes. This is what I will use. So let's say I have a student already. Could you tell me a bit, hello, how are you? Syempre, tech check ka muna, right? Can you hear me? Can you see me? So, oh, yes, teacher. So, eto na. This is your script. It has to be verbatim. Kung ano mo nakita yung question, ganun mo rin i-deliver. Could you tell me a bit about yourself? May I know if you are working or still studying? Tapos, what's your major? So, lahat to ipapasok mo dito, yung information. Work or studying, what's the major. Tapos dito is kung may question kasi about IELTS, because that's the main goal of this. This is for IELTS teachers, by the way. Yeah. So, asan ba yung question about IELTS? Hang on a bit. It's not here. So this is about some of the like hobbies of the students, because you need to create rapport during the warm-up. But this part will be about IELTS. So you will ask the student, is it your first time to take the IELTS exam? So if it's the first time, you have to note it down here. So, but if it's not the first time, you have to note here what was the previous score. So let's say the previous score is 6, and then this one here will be the target score. So kung 6 yung score niya before, let's say target score is 7. Tapos, when do you plan to take your IELTS exam? So, clickable din to. So, let's say, teacher, I still don't have a time to take the exam. So, since wala pa siyang exact time, since now is January 31, you will have to date it 1 month after. So, then that will be February. Eh, como walang 31 dito, lalagpas ka na ng maybe March na. Basta 1 month after. So see, 3, 4 like that. So that from the time na nag-trial class si student with you from today, mag-generate siya ng course plan dito to study with you. Right? So lahat yan dapat ma-encode mo during the warm-up because that's important so that from the time you warm up, magkakaroon ka ng mock test, bibigyan mo siya ng anong score niya sa scoring, bibigyan mo siya ng anong score niya, and then mag-generate siya dito sa anong plan to study with you. So pagtapos ka na dito, save. So I'm going to show you a recording of that, right? So that's just I'm just showing to you the use of this one, the ice-breaking script. So going back to the file here, system operation guideline, ice-breaking script that you will use for the warm-up. And then what's the use naman of the IELTS? IELTS nakalagay dito, quick guide script. So I gave this to you because teacher, this is also a script for all IELTS teachers. So what you wanted to see here is this part, page 4 of the PDF, section 2, because this is when you see the script for IELTS. So when you start with the full mock test, you will start with the script. We'll be doing the full mock test like the real exam. I need to make sure time spent on each part is appropriate. So don't worry if I stop you, it's normal in the real exam. So teachers, I know that at the beginning, it's kind of hard to memorize it, but what I suggest is have the script like maybe in some código or a ready notepad that probably you can read so that hindi naman at least during your demo, wag naman obvious na nagbabasa ka. You know, you can glance at it. Yeah. So as you can see here, pag start na ng full mock test, merong sa part 1, there are 3 topics and then there are several questions. So you will deliver that for 4 minutes. Part 2 is a total of 3 minutes. You'll give 1 minute to prepare for the student. And then yung topic for part 2, you will send that in the chat box of VOOV. Then while your student is preparing the answer for part 2, you're going to the scoring part, which is this one. Scoring part is this one. Isa-score mo na si student mo on the performance. When you were speaking with the student, when they were delivering the part 1. And also nag-warm up na kayo, so nakausap mo na rin siya. So the basis of that is the warm up and part 1. Then you can give a score already. And then once you have clicked this, save it, and then it will generate a score here. That's 1 minute preparation ni student in part 1, right? 1 minute. Makiklick naman to. So what I suggest is that since it's your first time, when it was my first time, I clicked all this already. So during the time that I finished with the mock tests, I adjusted this before because there's a time that you will share the screen. At this point, mock test, hindi ka pa nag-share ng screen. Mag-share ka lang ng screen, it'll be in the answer correction here. Pagka na-answer na lahat ng questions in part 1, 2, and 3, tsaka ka lang mag-share screen. So, pagka nag-share screen ka na, I just make sure na nag-generate na to ng score. Kasi, pag hindi nag-generate ng score, by the way, kung masyadong malaki, you can click here, the 3 dots here. Yeah. Make it smaller, fit to page. Yeah. Para makita mo yung save button. Save. And then, pag makita mo to, 5.1, mag-generate kasi siya dito ng score sa course plan. So, yung warm-up, yung scoring, mag-generate siya dito ng score. Okay, so before ka mag-share ng screen, check mo na muna kung nag-generate ng score. Okay, also mag-a-appear din dito sa band score. 5.5. Okay. Question so far? If you don't have questions, I'm going back to the file. So again, this is the script for the IELTS. So as you can see here, you go to scoring and then sasabihin mo na you have 2 minutes for this. Don't worry if I stop you. I'll tell you when 2 minutes is up. So part 2 yon. And then you will have to type the student's answer in here. Okay. So it will end with pagtapos na yung part 3, thank you. This is the end of our speaking test. So all in all, for full mock test, it's 11 to 14 minutes only. So warm up is just 5 minutes. Full mock test is 11 to 14 minutes. So this is how you're going to use this. Okay. I think that's the most important thing there. Please do not move to IMF. You won't be using this for now. So dito ka muna, teacher, up to answer correction. You can use this up to here. But don't go to introduce IMF method. You won't introduce the IMF method. Okay? So that the last part of the file is this one. Because I need you to check this out because some of you are probably not too familiar with the IELTS band. So I just want you to check this out, and the easy way to give a score to your student is look at the description of a band score 5 here. So to describe that in a very practical manner, band score 5 is someone who can give like simple sentences, able to, let's say, buy something in the supermarket using simple languages or simple words. So nothing, there's no complex sentences or perfect tenses. Okay, all simple. Simple words, simple sentences. Okay, but pronunciation is quite clear. Kasi it says here that on how they pronounce, somehow you could understand. Yes. But meron pa siyang konting features ng band for pronunciation because it says here a limited range of pronunciation features. So I suggest, because most of our students are adults, may mga konting college and high school, but most of them are in here. And also, I will mention that if you give them a band score 4, they will be offended. So be very careful if you give lower than 5, especially to men, because they get offended. So, but then, of course, kung Chinese lang pala yung nasasalita niya, mostly Chinese and then a little bit of English, then wala siya dito kasi simple sentences to. So that's how you can easily gauge the band score. Of course, pagka medyo more advanced words na siya, akyat ka na dito sa 6. Wala naman kami usually na advanced. So usually nasa 5.5, 6, 6.5, mataas na yung 7. Okay? I think those are the 3 files and the notepad. I have discussed that already. And then we're done with the file. Okay. Questions? Because this one, by the way, is for IELTS teachers. Some of you have a VIP assessment, some of you have a regular assessments. So I just like to mention that before I show you the for initial, because it's like a recording of warm up, mock test, and all that, so you could see clearly how to do it. Um, is it fine for you all, IELTS teacher? Before I proceed to show you the training, how to do the trial class. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to hang on a bit. Adjust something here. Skype guideline. So what I'm about to show you is how to, this is like a guideline on how to do the IELTS class, or this is like the ET class, or what we call the trial class. So for the warm up, it's 5 to 7 minutes. I suggest you don't go over than this, because if you make it 10, medyo gahol ka na sa oras sa ibang parts. So don't you worry that, let's say you forgot something in let's say in the warm up, you can make some adjustments there, because as I've said, hindi ka pa mag-share ng screen dyan. Mock test hindi pa rin, mag-share screen ka lang pagdating ng answer correction, which is 20 to 25 minutes. So I'm going to start playing this already. This file has a YouTube, so you can watch it on your own too. Okay, let me play it. Where is the video? Here.
Hi, Nell. It's very nice to meet you. How are you today, Nell?
I'm doing good right now. Actually, it feels so cold here in our place.
Good. Do you like the cold?
Yeah, compared to feel so hot outside, I prefer to feel so cool right now here inside our room.
Okay. I also like the cold. I like it better than hot weather. Correct.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, could you tell me a bit more about yourself, Janelle? May I know, are you working or are you studying?
Actually, I am working now. I am a teacher in one of the schools here in our country. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I do teach in the school, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Your job really sounds great.
Mm-hmm.
Now, may you tell me what do you enjoy most about this job?
All right. I really enjoy teaching because it's so fulfilling for me to teach students to share my knowledge, something like that.
Well, I really appreciate you sharing that with me. Well, speaking of enjoyment, Nell, how do you usually like to spend your weekends or your free time?
Okay, during my free time, Sky, I often used to go to my cousin. We spend our time together. We go to church and we visit some places, and we go to the mall. And then because we feel like if we are doing that activity on weekend, we feel like we are recharging our energy to be prepared to go back again at work every
Oh.
Monday. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds interesting now. You know what? Different people have different ways to relax, and it's always attractive for me to discover how people enjoy their free time. Well, some of my students are a fan of watching comedy to relax themselves. May I know whether you like watching this kind of TV programs as well now?
Sometimes Sky, but oftentimes I used to watch motivational movies or motivational short video clips, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But talking about comedy, I think there are a few times only in my life that I watch comedies.
Okay, well, that's engaging to know now. It's always interesting to hear students' preferences and how they relax. Now that we've got to know a bit about you, let's move on to discussing the exam details now. Nell, may I know why are you taking the IELTS test?
Yeah, mainly because I'd like to possess this certification of IELTS because it will help me to further increase my salary as a teacher. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's mainly the reason why.
And Nell, is this your first time to take the IELTS test?
Actually, it's my second time.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, that's great to know. May I know what your score was in your previous exam?
yeah, it's 6.
6. Oh, impressive. And what score do you want to get now?
I'm aiming for 7.
Oh, 7. Okay. Well, I will help you to get that. Okay. Together
Thank
we
you,
will
Sky.
work that out. Okay. For the last question now, when is your next exam?
Gonna be on September 10th.
September 10. Okay. Let me
Yes,
just put it up here for. Okay. Thank you now for answering those
sure,
questions.
sure.
And now, before we begin our mock test, would you like me to go through and review the structure of the speaking test with you?
Maybe a little bit information, maybe a short information about these 3 parts. That would be fine.
Okay, let me walk you through the parts of the speaking test. So IELTS
Sure.
speaking test has 3 parts. We have part one, which is an
Mm-hmm.
introduction and interview for 4 to 5 minutes. I will be asking you 6 questions on 3 different topics. It can be about personal subjects like food, family, or hobbies. In part two, it will be an individual long turn for 3 to 4 minutes. I will be giving you 1 minute to prepare and take notes, and then 1 to 2 minutes for you to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Lastly, in part three, there will be a two.
Okay, hello. That's the warm up. I'm proceeding to the mock test now. That will be 11 to 14 minutes. Here it is.
We'll be doing a full mock test like the real exam. So I need to make sure that the time spent on each part is appropriate. So don't worry if I stop you now. It's normal in the real exam as well.
Okay,
Mhm. Are
Sky.
you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready now.
Okay, let's begin. First, let's talk about ebooks and paper books. Now, which do you prefer, ebooks or paper books?
Now, I prefer to read paper books or the actual book or the printed one.
Okay, thank you, Nell. Next question. Let me just save that for you. Now, when do you usually read paper books?
Most of the time, during my free time at night, yeah. Also at lunch, during lunch, and every weekend. And I also love reading books because I used to have my daily journal so that I have something to write in my journal. Thank you.
Next, let's talk about your home now. Now, tell me, would you like to change anything in your house?
You mean inside my room, right? Or in our
In
house?
your house, yes.
Okay. I'd like to change our kitchen. Yeah, because it's somehow small and I like to renovate something in our sink because for me it's not an ideal one.
Would you like to move to a different house in the future, Nell?
Yes, I want to. I always have an ideal house in my mind, always.
Mhm. Okay. Next, let's talk about exciting activities. Nell, would you like to try scuba diving and bungee jumping?
Mm, I would like to, but not my priority this time, Sky.
Okay. Next, has anything exciting happened to you recently?
Exciting
Mm-hmm.
recently. Yeah, uh, because I apply for a job and I am looking for a part-time job now. And it's lucky for me because the company give me an opportunity to undergo for the first hiring process they have. That's one thing that happens to me lately, which is exciting. Thank you, Sky.
That's the end of part one now. Let's now move on to
Hmm.
part two. I will be giving you a topic and I will be giving you also a minute to think about or even take notes of your answer. Let me
Okay.
just send it into the chat box for you. Please wait.
Okay.
Okay, can you see it now?
Okay, I can see it now.
Okay, I will be giving you 1 minute to prepare. Okay, 1 minute starts now.
Okay.
Okay, time is up now, Nell. I'll
Hi,
give
Sky.
you 2 minutes. Okay, so you have 2 minutes, so don't worry if I stop you. You may
Okay.
now start speaking.
Okay. Thank you, Sky. So the question is about describe a place where you have taken photos more than once. Yeah. So the place is what we called Ayutthaya. It's here in Thailand. It's here in Thailand actually. That's one of the most tourist destinations in Thailand. And we've been there last January, and the place is so good. It's so good, and there's a lot of places that you can visit within the day. Yeah, and then together with me is my cousin and my friend. We went there with the university bus, and together also with some of my colleagues and workmates. And since the place is so good, it's it's a very good opportunity for me to take more photos together with my cousin and friend. Yeah. And the special features of this place is something like you will see the different cultural places wherein it reflects the culture of the country, and then um the angle of the photos would be nice, and then yeah, there are no restrictions or something like limitations in taking photos. That's why we feel free to take.
Okay, so actually here the teacher should be typing the answer of the student. So teacher Skylar isn't typing because this is her previous page. So she's using not the test page but her own page at this time. So she's not typing it. Okay. So but when you do a trial class, you should be typing here.
More photos, and then um the reason why we took so many photos because we just take the opportunity to enjoy the place, and then um take photos to each and every part of the places and treasure the moment that we still there. Actually, we are not only taking photos, but we're also taking videos, and then we also eat some foods, and the place is so good. That's why.
Okay,
Okay,
time's
okay,
up. Thank you
okay.
so much, Nell. That's the end of part two. Let's now move on to part three. The topic in part three will be similar to the topic in part two. Let's begin. Now, who likes to take photos more often, young people or older people?
I would rather say that the young people, because uh they have this kind of idea that they should have more photos in their gallery. They should treasure each moment of their life, and then they also want to upload it in their social media accounts, and then other things would be they would like to share it with their friends. Yeah, collecting memories and uh storing it storing it in a safe place, so that if there will be a time that they want to go back again and treasure that moment. So yeah, most of the time young people rather choose to take photos nowadays compared to older people. And yeah, the older people somehow uh didn't want to take so many pictures nowadays because yeah, they think that they would like to spend more time
Thank
in
you.
their okay.
Cute now. Next, would you pay a lot of money to hire a photographer now?
mm, mm, okay,
Mm-hmm.
uh actually I don't want to, because um we can have our own. Yeah, that's all.
Let me just save that. Uh, now, do you think being a photographer is a good job?
I think so, because if you would like to ask me, I would like also to work as a photographer, and um, I love and I prefer taking photos than taking my photos on my own. Yeah, I'd rather choose to take photos of someone or other places compared to taking my own photos. Yeah, so for me, photographer is a good job, since through taking pictures you could also earn a lot of money or earn an extra income about this. At the same time, if you want this job or if you want this activity, so it's not it's not all about earning money, it's not all about having an extra income, but it's also about fulfilling what you want to, and it's also yeah, satisfying yourselves about this kind of activity. Sky.
Thank you. Next, on what occasions do people need formal photos?
Mm, most of the time during their special occasions, actually. That's all.
Okay, let's save that. Next, do you like to take photos now?
I do like. I also I want to take photos every time that I've been in a certain place. Yeah, I like taking photos, collecting memories, and treasuring it with me, and somehow sharing it to others. Do some blog about that picture. Sky.
And Nell, where do people often like to take photos?
Mm, in a very beautiful place and in a very special location. Sky.
Okay. Thank you so much, Nell. That is the end of your speaking test.
So now that's the end of the mock test, which you can finish for 11 to 14 minutes. And then this is the note here. While the teacher give 1 minute for student to prepare to make some notes, teacher, you will go to scoring here. Okay. And then after the scoring, that will be generated in the overall score, as I've mentioned. So after that, you will proceed to answer correction. That will be 20 to 25 minutes. So even if it's just a trial class, I'd like to mention that it's important. These are the important things that you need to start in this part. So you can ask the student, how do you like the discussion to be? Do you like to cover a lot of topics with less details or vice versa? So because there are some students who like to discuss a lot of questions, like here, what the teacher asked in the mock test. So it's important to set the expectation and then encourage open communication. So whatever it is that your student would request during the time of the trial class, because after the trial class, the student will decide whether they like to enroll in your class. So you have to already ask for request or expectation. So nothing long, just a quick checking of that so that you can adjust your methodology based on the student's requests. And then well, we have some requirements on how much questions to follow. Uh, that will be in part one, 5 questions, part two, 3 topics, and part three, 4 questions. But this will already be later after the ET class because after they enroll with you, then you saw that in part one, it's just 30 seconds to answer. So that's just around 1 to 2 um, sentences because it's just 30 seconds. So basically, you want to cover more, especially in part one. So ideally, 5 questions if you can. So as you can see here, this is the method that we will use for a newbie teacher. It's going to be a PREC method. So what you're going to do is you will have to click this. Let me play the video now.
All right. Can you tell me how do you feel about your mock test? I feel kind of nervous. Nervous, okay. Actually, you did a great job in completing your mock test. Which do you think, or what part do you think is more difficult? Is it one, two, or three? I think everything is difficult because of the time, teacher. Everything, okay. All right. But if you're going to choose one, is it part one, two, or three? I think part two. Part two. Okay. Yes. All right. What do you
Hello,
think?
hello, sorry. Since the teachers will do their demo for PREC, can you choose anywhere between part three or part one, please?
Asha, ma'am. All right. So let us focus on part number one. Mhm. Okay.
So let's check out your first answer here. So for you to be able to make a sentence or to maximize the time, which is 30 seconds, right? You're given 30 seconds. Okay, so I will be teaching you here a method, which is the prep method. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, this is the time that you share your screen, not at the warm up page, but in the answer correction page. It's this part.
Yes. Okay, all right. So Lizel, we have here the prep method. All right. So letter P here stands for can.
Okay, hang on a bit. My remaining time in VUV is just 7 minutes. Maybe I can suggest that we take a break and then just go back to watch that part. Um, how long do you like the break to be? Is it 10 or 15 minutes? Any suggestions? You like to meet again after 15 minutes? Is that fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
I'll send a message in the GC. Yeah, as to the exact time. So approximately 15 minutes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.